Hi guys, hope everyone is doing well today. It's a little cloudy outside, but yet the sun is still managing to penetrate through the clouds. It's not as bright as it could be, and the temperature is supposed to be in the 70s. I hope everyone else is having comfortable temperatures today and not freezing cold or freezing rain or maybe weather that you don't necessarily want today. I hope. Anyway, let's go on ahead and get started. And today it's like day 91 of my journey in this weight loss. I started it out for the 3 months as kicking it, and now it's just going to be labeled my journey. And it's what it is. I'm like videoing a journal. So the things that I'm going to be telling you every day, every week, every month, it's all going to be wonderful. But I'm going to give God all the praise for every moment that I have. Because, God is awesome. He's holy. He's worthy. And without Him, I can do nothing. The Word of God says that without Him, you can do nothing. But through Him, all things are possible for those who believe. I believe, I'm trusting Him, and so far, He has taken care of me. He's not letting me down. And I'm sure not going to take my eyes off of Him, because I am having the success that I have wanted all these years. And the only thing that I had ever lacked in it was just completely, totally giving it to Him, focus on Him, and letting Him carry the burden. Well, now it's all His, and He can keep it. I just want to enjoy the ride and the benefits, and give Him the praise and the glory for every bit of it. Also today I've got 2 pairs of pants that I am going to be trying on. Both of them you are very much aware of. One, I want to see if I can finally button it and zip it, or at least see how far along it has come, because when I tried it on 4 inches before, it lacked this much of being buttoned even. On the other pair, I was already able to put on, but I'm going to show you a profile to see how it fits now. And we'll see if it looks even better, because I haven't tried it back on since that day that I videoed it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Tips for your heart. This chapter is a tough chapter because it is telling a chapter. Because it is a telling chapter. This chapter is a tough chapter because it is a telling chapter. Some of these tips may or may not help you. You may want to ask God to give you some tips that will help you personally. However, if your heart does not want to stop when you are full, and it wants to eat everything on the plate, and it would really like what is left over on the children's plates, then stopping tips are not what you need right now. You need a few heart tips. Why in the world would we ever want more than we need? Why would we ever try to override our body's controls on the amount of food we eat? I think it is a pretty easy answer. We feel that we need to take care of ourselves because no one else in this world will care about us. We eat as if there is no tomorrow, thinking we had better get while the getting is good. Perhaps we are not so sure what we believe that Perhaps we are not so sure that we believe there is a God, especially a caring Father, Creator. We do not know God's personality well enough to know that He likes burrito supremes with extra sour cream. He wants us to taste and enjoy all kinds of foods, especially desserts, all of our lives. However, He wants to be the provider or the one to indulge us, and yet We indulge ourselves so much that we do not even give God a chance. He would like us to wait for hunger so he can delight us with the new Mexican restaurant for supper. But he cannot, because we carved ourselves out a pan of brownies and bowed down to it earlier in the afternoon. We decided on our indulgence, cooked it, and ate it. God gets squeezed out of our lives as we refuse to wait on him or look to him. This attitude is not new. The Israelites did the same thing when they grew impatient for Moses to bring God's law to them. When the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." Aaron answered them, "Take off the gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing, and bring them to me." So all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. He took what they handed him and made it into an idol cast in the shape of a calf, fashioning it with a tool. Then they said, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." The Israelites, despite seeing all the ways God had provided for them, created a false god to which they turned for comfort, to their ultimate sorrow. What is more, we never get to thank him because we took care of everything. It is as if we are saying that we do not need God. I would die right now if my children told me that they did not need me anymore. I love to be needed, and God loves it too. The irony is that we are desperate for him in his loving, giving, and guiding hand, and we hardly even know it. If your heart only knew that God is going to let you get hungry again and that he is going to feed you again. He is a great shepherd who loves to feed his sheep physically and spiritually. In fact, the picture of a shepherd is one who spends all day looking for a great place for the sheep to feed. Look to him for guidance about when to start eating and when to stop. Believe him when he says, and without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. Hebrews 11:6. You have got to come to know how good he will be to you if you seek him. If you will obey God and not overindulge, there will be some reward for you. We call these little rewards or happies from God jewels. So heart, cheer up. A jewel will always be waiting for you if you stop when you are full. One of the most important assignments in Raydown is to look for and find the jewels that God has given you. We would like to stress the importance of stopping at the earliest signals of being physiologically full. But if your longing heart is still yearning, food will not satisfy it. It would be great to finish each evening meal by taking a walk around the block. Just you and the Lord. Give him your broken heart and problems. He will fix those. Just obey him with your food. Pray that your desire to eat slows down. It is all a matter of your heart. If your heart loses its desire for food, eating slowly is a breeze, and going beyond full is out of the question. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that totally. Because of me giving it all over to God, just completely turning my heart over to him so that he even takes care of the desire eating. It's gotten to the point I don't know what I'm going to eat when I get hungry. I can look through the freezer and the fridge and nothing outright appeals to me. I know what I like and I know a general, but nothing is speaking to me, you know? And so if that is the wonderful thing about Father. He takes it all away so that it is so much easier to wait for hunger. Right now, I'm not hungry, and the last time I ate was 6:30 last night. I'm not hungry at all. Now, Gwen had said that when a woman gets ready to menstruate, that she has extra hunger. Yes, there was actually extra hunger. I would be hungry almost like first thing when I got up, then hungry again about noon, and then hungry again about 6. And so I ended up eating all those times. But she said that as soon the body realizes that it's not going to conceive, then the hunger stops. And sure enough, yesterday the hunger subsided and I was back to just eating normal. Now, I only eat about twice a day, and that's it. I'm fine. I'm satisfied. And that is something unbelievable for me, because used to I would eat a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, and I would eat in between the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner, and right before I'd go to bed. I would also eat seconds of whatever. And one of the greatest things, when I had made my homemade stroganoff last week, I think it was last week, or the week before, last week I think it was. Anyway, used to, when it would still be fresh in the pan, I would serve myself a bowl, eat that, and go back and get me a second helping. And this was just a couple months ago. Just a couple months ago I was doing this. And this time, when it was fresh in the pan, I got myself a little bowl and ate a little bowl. And I didn't get seconds either. That was God, because I like my stroganoff. And there was something else about the stroganoff which is absolutely amazing. Even though the majority of it is noodles, the fact of the matter is that I wouldn't be hungry for 5-6 hours after eating a small serving, because we've got small storage bowls, and that's what I put it in. So that equals about a, not even a cup, it equals more like half a cup, about a half a cup, maybe, not quite a whole cup, but about maybe 2/3 of a cup, somewhere in between a half a cup to 2/3 of a cup. Anyway, eating a small storage bowl of it, and I wouldn't be hungry for another 5-6 hours. That is incredible. And they say that when you eat carbs, you get hungry again real fast. Well, the majority of my stroganoff is with carb, because it's got the noodles. But yet, I stayed satisfied. So, remarkable. And yesterday, oh my gosh. I guess I won't read phase 2. I've got so much to share with you. Pardon me, I've got to get me a tissue. Sorry about this. It's that time of year. Anyway, no, I don't have a cold. I'm not talking about cold. I'm talking about, you know, the seasonal changes with the weather and everything. Makes the sinuses kind of do their defense mechanism. Anyway, so like, as I told you, my mother-in-law had gotten me a chocolate silk pie, or a chocolate satin pie. And I told you that I was only eating about an inch wide reg at a time. So I had managed to eat a total of 4 inch wide regs out of it. Just 4. And so yesterday morning I had the rest of the spaghetti, because I had made a big batch of spaghetti and that actually lasted an entire week. So I finished that up, which equaled just a small bowl. That, by the way, that's all I'm eating now is the small bowls. My small, shallow bowls, they're only about like that. They're only about that deep. And the smaller plates, of course, whatever I'm eating, whatever size plate it requires. Anyway, so like I had a small bowl of the spaghetti, which was the rest of it, and I had put the cheese on it, and I had another small bowl of salad that just consisted of the iceberg lettuce, the shredded cheese, and the rice noodles, and with the ranch and the Catalina dressing. And I had a mug of hot cocoa and a 1-inch wedge of the chocolate pie. That was it. Now I ate this, I think it was around 11:30 or so. So I didn't eat all of the spaghetti, didn't eat all of the salad, left some of the pie, and didn't even drink all of the cocoa. And I turned around. Now, how many people, if they're addicted to food in any way or fashion, if they literally have food desire, how many of them do you know will do this? I took the rest of the pie that still had 2/3 left in the pan, and I threw it away. How many people do you know would throw away 2/3 of a chocolate satin pie? Thing is, out of the 4 pieces that I'd had in the 3 days that I had it, I had finally had enough. My body was very satisfied, didn't need any more, and I was able to throw it away, no problem. I didn't even think twice as I put it into the trash. That is God. In the past, I would have had the entire pie ate either by the end of Thanksgiving or by the end of Thursday, because we went and had the dinner Wednesday. So I would have either had it finished by the end of Wednesday or by the end of Thursday, which was Thanksgiving. Instead, I only ate it from Wednesday to yesterday, just 4-inch wide slices, and threw the rest away. That is so totally God. I would have never done that in the past, ever. I would have made sure to eat every last bit. God is so good. He is so good. And on top of that, I wasn't hungry again until 6 o'clock. By the time I had got done fixing myself something to eat, which happened to have been 5 onion rings and a hamburger patty with sauteed onions and shredded cheese. It was just a hamburger patty. It wasn't a hamburger sandwich, just the hamburger patty. I love eating the hamburger patties like steak. Good. That's all I had. And 1/3 of my Coke Mini. That's it for my second meal. I wasn't hungry for almost 7 hours yesterday. I wasn't hungry for almost 7 hours yesterday. And I didn't eat everything on my plate. Now I did for dinner. I had all the onion rings, all 5 of them, and the entire patty. But I poured out the rest of my Coke. I was satisfied. I didn't need no more. I was done. God is so good. He is so awesome. He is so holy, so worthy. And my waist is down another inch. Yesterday it measured in at 37 and something. This morning it measured in at 36 and 5/8. I've lost more off of my waist. God is so great. Every bit of this journey is because of Him. Every bit of this journey and what I'm achieving is because of Him. Not in my own, not my own power, not through my own strength, and not through any man-made diet or plan. This is all through Jesus Christ, my Lord. He says in His word that I am more than a conqueror through Jesus Christ who strengthens me. And I can do all things through Jesus Christ. I am doing this only through my Father, only through my God. Other than that, I would be a great failure. And what I had begun about 4 months ago, which is actually over 4 months now, what I had begun 4 months ago, I would be shooting right back up there. In reality, y'all, I've actually lost over 20 pounds. Because that's seriously when I stood there in front of the door in the living room. And I was 220. But with the Kicking It series these last 3 months, I've lost over 17. So, I like to say over 20 because seriously the journey began at 220 pounds. It really did. It seriously did. It began at 220 pounds. Even though I didn't start the Kicking series until a month later. Nonetheless, it is still because of Jesus Christ. Thank you, Lord. All right, so let's go on ahead and try on these pants. I'll be right back with you. Hold on first. Remember these? These are the shorts I told you that my sister-in-law who was killed in the car accident gave me. These are the ones that liked that much of being buttoned and zipped. I'm going to try them on for you. I'll be right back. Okay, so like this is where I'm at. I am so much closer to getting them buttoned. I couldn't even bring them this close before. I could only bring them to like here. And now, here. I have a feeling that by the time I lose another 5-10 pounds, these are going to fit awesome. The next ones that I'm going to put on are these capris. I bet these will look even better on me. Let's try them on. I'll be right with you. Okay. Let me turn this down so you can see them a little better. Look at that. Not too awful bad. Not too awful bad. Not too awful bad. Look at the back of them there. Turn it a little more toward the sun, toward the light there. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. I am very, very satisfied. Of course, my stomach still sticks out a little bit, as it will for another 10, 15, 20 pounds. But as I continue losing the weight, and these feel awesome. Like, oh yeah. When I had first tried these on, like I was able to button them and zip them. And I didn't necessarily have to lay down on the bed, but when I went to sit down in them, like, they were so uncomfortable, and I just had a feeling I would bust the button on them. Let me put the camera back up. And so now I was able to squat. And I felt them give the way they needed to. I was able to squat. So, oh my gosh, I'm able to wear the capris my husband got me now. I'm able to wear the capris my husband got me. I'm going to wear these to the grocery store today. I was going to wear these, my LEIs. I was going to wear these. I was wearing these. When I was making the video, when I started, I was wearing these. But no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to wear these capris because I've waited so long to get to wear them. I'm going to wear them to the grocery store. And the weather's going to be just right because it's going to be in the 70s. So I don't have to worry about freezing my legs. Ah! Yes, 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 yes. I am so happy, so happy. God is so good. So guys, I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Have a wonderful day.